Okay.
We've been duly warned. Thank you, John. Well, that's all the time we have for news this morning. Thanks for joining the three of us. Stay tuned for Channel 3 News today at noon and also this evening starting at 6.
And we'll see you again tomorrow. Now let's go to Today in Cleveland with Del Donahue and today's special guest, Channel 3 weathercaster Amy Hasten.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the breakfast table. And Amy, I'm going to share with you some of Martha's famous coffee.
I need some of Martha's famous coffee this morning.
Yeah,
I need my hat. Excuse me while I put on my...
We played Sunny Side of the Street, which of course we all love, don't we? But we should really play that song, Two Sleepy People, right?
I know I am.
You understand what's happening here this week? Tom's on vacation and probably coming back from Indiana today. So all the good folks on the night side at 6 and 11 are coming in to sit with us. We had Jim yesterday, Amy today, Judd tomorrow, and then Don on Friday.
Don on Friday.
Yeah. So I'm flattered that they got up so early and come down here. But Amy, you broke one of the cardinal rules. You brought no breakfast. We have nothing to go with Martha's coffee.
How can you eat this time of morning? How can you eat?
Hey, we've been up for a while, you know?
I'm going to go home and go back to bed.
I know.
I'm going back to bed.
But we love you so much, we're going to let you stay, and we're also going to welcome you the right way with Henry up on the fence post. Now, you being from Illinois, you've heard that old rooster crow many times, haven't you?
Well, I didn't really live in the country.
Didn't live in the country? Yeah.
No.
What was your town in Illinois?
Morton.
Morton.
It's small, but, you know, it was, you know, about 26,000 people.
That's
just outside of Peoria. It's what I call a small town.
You want to see a small town? You come to my hometown of Moravia, Iowa. 90 miles south of Des Moines.
That's small.
600 people down there, but all wonderful folks. Well, we better check some headlines, and then we'll get more acquainted with Amy. You folks on the night side, of course, you all know her. Maybe some of you are seeing her for the first time. Yellow County Wine Country to share Adele's Folks Feast. And then we're going to tell you one more time, and every time this week, every morning this week, how you can go to breakfast on Bob Evans, and how you may also win a getaway at one of Ohio's beautiful state park lodges. You've been in Ohio long enough to know that we have beautiful state parks, right?
Oh, I just love it here. Absolutely.
Time has gone by so fast. You joined our beautiful staff
almost 3 years ago.
April of '92.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
You came here from the good old Rockies, didn't you?
Yeah, I worked in Denver for a few years, and I thought when I moved here, of course not knowing much about Cleveland at the time, that I thought that I would really miss Colorado. And I really haven't looked back at all. I don't miss a thing. I've made so many friends, and the viewers here have always just been so warm from day one.
Sure.
I haven't really, you know, haven't missed it at all. This is home now. Love it.
First time I saw Amy
I was moving in the neighborhood.
was right around the corner from our house out in Bay Village, and I saw this beautiful lady moving in. Hey, that's nice. We have a nice, beautiful new neighbor. I come down the station, I see Amy. Hey, I didn't know that at that time she was on our staff.
You thought you were getting up too early. You thought you were seeing double. How is Martha, by the way? Tell her coffee's great.
Okay, Martha's up, and she heard that, and she'll appreciate that. We better check some temperatures over Martha's coffee this morning, and since Amy brought no breakfast, we have nothing to go with it. Cleveland, 58 degrees, as you can see. I feel strange doing weather when you're sitting here, Amy, but you can start
hey, you're an old pro. You're
get
great.
busy. Candy, 56 degrees out there at the Can Do It Farm in Ashtabula County. She's going to go to the Ashtabula County Fair today to judge miniature horses. I hope she doesn't get kicked. Paul, 57 degrees out there in Sagamore Hills where it's very dark, he says. Jimmy, 62 degrees. He's up and around at Sandusky, and he looked out into the kitchen of the East Side Cafe, and he saw chicken being baked and getting ready to mash potatoes to go with it. So that's what they're having for lunch up there. You go to your favorite restaurant today, okay? Amy, you take over.
Boy, nothing on instant Doppler 3 radar. As a matter of fact, Del, on my way in, I saw the clouds breaking up. We're going to see the sunshine for today. In fact, a mix of sun and clouds. High temperature, though, only in the low 70s as you're heading out the door this morning. Be sure to grab something like a light jacket. You'll need it today. Becoming cloudy overnight tonight and a low of 55 degrees. Tomorrow, another chance for showers. High temperature in the low to mid 70s. So
you sound like a weather person for sure. You should have heard Jimmy Donovan doing the weather yesterday. That was a trip.
I wasn't up yet. I missed it. I would have liked to have seen
Jimmy
that.
was hardly up.
I thought he was going to do sports. Otherwise, I would have tuned in to see him do weather.
He was great. He even brought his 2 dogs.
Did he bring breakfast?
He brought breakfast. Oh, some wonderful.
I thought you were joking.
Sure, sure. Want to ring the traffic bell there?
I've always wanted to do this.
Do it with conviction, Amy.
I'm weak.
Some of you are getting tired of hearing this, but Amy may not know that is a genuine 1892 Cleveland streetcar bell. That's what that is. RTA trains and buses out and around on time, and for the rush hour, keep in mind that in Strongsville, construction has started. Amy Hasten sitting in for Tom today, who is playing golf someplace in Indiana, probably. I see you didn't choose the greatest school of them all for your higher education, the great University of Iowa in Iowa City, my school, so you settled for Southern Illinois University.
Well, I've heard it called worse than not the greatest school of all, certainly, yes. But it actually has a very good radio and television communications department, and since I was from Illinois anyway,
sure, made sense.
I thought, hey, I'll just give that a try.
Now my team mascot, the Hawkeye. What's your team?
The Salukis.
Salukis.
Which not many people know what a Saluki is.
Tell us what a Saluki is.
A Saluki is an Egyptian racing dog. They're very sleek, almost strange, ugly-looking mascots. Yeah.
Well, I learned a new word this morning. I didn't know that they were the Southern Illinois Salukis, but now we have something new to remember. Okay, we'll get to some news and then we'll continue visiting. In the national headlines on Capitol Hill, this is normal for the morning rush hour. Did you come down that way this morning, Amy?
I did, but you know, I just zipped right by it, and I remember the story from last night thinking, wow, my car would be swallowed up in that pothole.
You haven't had much sleep, have you?
No, am I babbling? Do I look tired? I know I look tired, yeah. I know, I got to sleep, I think, around 1:30 last night. It's one of those things where you know you have to get sleep, and you can't fall asleep, and you're afraid that you're going to sleep through the alarm. Yeah.
But you're a trooper, so you're here. We have some important information for those of you who are senior citizens who are disabled and to use our said. Our baseball people didn't want him to pitch for us anymore, so I imagine he's back in the wheat fields of Montana this morning. You're an Indians fan, aren't you? I can tell.
I sure am, especially this morning.
Yeah.
No, every day.
And you've been over to Jacobs Field.
Oh yes,
beautiful place,
lots of times. Love it over there. We go up to the Terrace Club quite often and get to watch the games, and I'm going to be really disappointed, especially Friday.
Well, I'm still holding up. Maybe they're not going to strike. Okay.
Well, there's always hope.
Now, we have one sports-related note I want to pass along to you. On Sunday at 2 o'clock, a gala parade will kick off the Heritage Days celebration in Olmsted Falls, and along with others, all off with a big parade. Jerry Geis says to spread the word and be out there Sunday. Okay, now is this place we're going to do the greetings? I miss Tom. He always busses me around, so...
I'm no help, I know.
Yeah,
sorry.
We'll do the greetings here. Okay, want to check the time over your shoulder there, the old kitchen clock?
Oh, looks like about 6:41 maybe? I don't know, my watch...
Yeah, 6:44, I think. I think we're a little slow back there this morning. Now, Tom is good enough before he goes on vacation always to list the birthdays and the anniversary for us, so now it's our job simply to extend the good wishes. Frank Gallion of Worcester, he's having a birthday today, didn't say which one, and out of the Hilliard house, Gene Pierce is celebrating again today. We hope you folks have great days. And now the first picture, country kid Michael Richard Nichols is 3 years old today. Look at that hat. The Orville youngster is Irene Hostetler's grandson, and she's so proud of him.
She should be.
And this one, Amy?
And there's a new teen in Lock 17, Gnaden Hutton. She's Amanda Smith, a Girl Scout jazz dancer and baton twirler.
Many talented young lady, yeah. You'd never guess that Mary Vassell is 40. She's in Parma. Now, maybe you might think she's 30, but certainly not 40. Beautiful. And
Cleveland breakfast timer Peggy Snyder is having I won't tell you which one birthday, and she and Barb Wilson went to Canada and found utter things to do.
Obviously they did. And that reminds us that our big milking contest will be coming up very soon, and I think we're going to have a surprise to tell you about where we're going to hold it this year.
Oh, really?
And our good friend Ed Verba, one who takes all those pictures, he reminded me that this is Smokey Bear's 50th anniversary, and I heard him talk about it on the 6 o'clock news. Actually, they celebrated it in Washington yesterday. Smokey, not Smokey the Bear, Smokey Bear, 50 years old. Smokey Bear. And now, here's what you've been waiting for, too. The address to send a postcard for your favorites to us with a few details of your favorite Ohio vacation spot. And the earlier, the better, of course. So we wish you a lot of good luck. And we thank Bob Evans. Now, are you doing, as I asked Jim yesterday, are you doing what you always wanted to do? When you were a little girl, did you sit in front of the TV set and watch those weather people say, I want to be one of those?
Actually, no. I was more intimidated by the weather and actually afraid of the weather that went on. But I did sit in front of the TV. I was kind of a latchkey kid. I would go home after school and I watched Mary Tyler Moore reruns. And so grew up watching Mary Tyler Moore, thinking, you know, that she worked in a newsroom, and her character Mary Richards was, you know, so dynamic yet sweet, and I just liked her qualities, and I thought, you know, I can work in a newsroom, I can be a journalist.
You have the same zip and zing that she had.
Oh.
Sure, sure.
No.
Well, now this was in Morton, Illinois, not in Australia. She also lived in Australia, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, when I was 15 years old, my family up and moved to Melbourne, Australia. My father was transferred there with the company that he worked for. And that was kind of a neat experience. You know, at the time when my parents said, well, we're going to move to Melbourne, Australia, Amy, I was in high school, and I thought, I'm not going to Australia. I want to stay here with my friends. And it was such a wonderful experience for me. I got to finish high school there, and then my parents stayed there while I was in college at Southern Illinois University, and I went back and forth
Did you
for
see a
several
kangaroo?
years. I saw lots of kangaroos, but not hopping down the street. Everyone thinks, you know, in the cities you see them hopping down your driveway or...
Not true, huh?
Definitely not true. No, no, no.
You've been out to Ashtabula County, haven't you?
Oh, sure.
You
Lots of time.
They have a lot of vineyards out there, make a lot of nice wine out there, they have good food, they have nice people, and that's where we're headed for the Del Folks Feast this morning. And we got all of those things. Part of the fun of visiting Ashtabula County's grape country is a stop at... Nice smile.
They have to give you a discount.
Hmm?
They must give you a discount. You eat all that food.
You're mumbling again.
You eat all that food.
You said I should be this way?
You should be that way.
Obviously, I'm working on it, right?
No.
Bubba's Q is where we'll be the next time around, okay? On Saturday and all next week. Now, we're going to take another little break, and then we'll come back, and we have a big garage.
Congratulations.
Again, I am much impressed with the way you work with Doppler 3, and a lot of folks appreciate the work that you do, and you spend long hours down here getting ready, particularly when you see a storm coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, we sure do. As a matter of fact, we rely heavily on Doppler, and you know, we've had intensive training on it.
Sure.
And in the coming weeks, we're going to have a few surprises for you, some
Yep.
things that'll really be interesting for you to see. And
Well, you have to know what you're doing, and
that's right.
I mean,
Dry conditions out there right now.
most
We
of us
just
could
saw a
look at
quick
that and
pick
have
at
no
it.
idea what it is, but you have the expertise, and we appreciate it. Okay, we'll come back and maybe have another sip of Martha's coffee. Since we have no breakfast this morning, Amy. Time went by so fast, Amy, we didn't have time to talk about two of your favorites, Rocky the dog and Mittens the cat.
They are certainly my favorites.
Okay, you want to tell us what the weather's going to be today?
I sure will. Mix of sun and clouds. It's going to be a little cool as you head out the door and throughout the daytime hours as well. High temperature 71. For tonight, skies will become cloudy again. Overnight low 55. And for tomorrow, a chance of showers again. High temperature 74. We'll see the sun and mix of clouds today, but it will be cool.
Not too bad, county fair weather. Now, you have a passing thought, I'll bet you.
I sure do. Weather the weather, always wear a smile.
Somehow that fits. I sort of expected you to give us a thought like that. Judd's here tomorrow, so you'll be at the breakfast table, okay? Thank you for getting up, Amy.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You were a
It's
nice,
been fun.
bright, lifting